Hello and welcome to Mashmouth. I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Ethan.
Ethan, you and I wanted to talk a little bit today, just kind of a casual conversation about Loretta Swit, because unfortunately the news of her passing came out yesterday on May 30th. And so, yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about Loretta Swit and her impact as Margaret and her just life in general and what she, obviously we know her mostly as the character from MASH, Margaret, but, Loretta Swit is the person too, like, how she kind of embodied that role and how she's really important to a lot of people.
Yeah, she was an icon. I know she's very important to you growing up, and the role of Margaret played a big part in like your development as a person.
Yeah. It really did. Yeah, she did a lot. Like, I grew up watching MASH, and I talked a lot on this podcast about how much Margaret meant to me as a character, because I grew up really like in my own head and watching TV. So like these characters were almost like role models to me. They were like my friends because I was kind of a dork and a loser and didn't have a lot of friends, I guess. So it was, especially in the later seasons, it was really important for me as a younger kid to see like a woman in a really male dominated field, like in the military and being a nurse and stuff like that, and just kind of owning her place there too. Like
Yeah.
she wasn't out of place there because she was a woman. Like, she deserved to be there, and she was career military, and that was honestly probably one of the first times I ever saw a woman in the military. Like, conceptually, of course I knew that women could be in the military, but it's not really portrayed a lot. So, and then also to have it be in like the 70s and 80s when the military was still like really really male dominated. I don't know, it just always meant a lot to me, seeing Loretta Swit play that role and just playing it so well and being funny too. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Like, women can be funny type of thing. So I don't know, it just, Loretta Swit playing Margaret just meant a lot to me growing up, and still obviously means a lot to me.
Yeah. I mean, I obviously didn't grow up with her, and I wasn't, a little girl amazed by the presence of a woman, but I really do like Margaret. And yesterday, when it was announced that she had passed, my mom and I watched ABC News with David Muir, and
hmm
at the end of it, they showed like an interview with her, like an archive interview, and she talked about how much the show means to her because of young women who would come up to her and be like, I became a nurse because I was inspired by Margaret Houlihan. And like, that's crazy. How many other like TV shows are like the kickstart of somebody's career because of like, that's just so cool to me.
yeah.
And you're right that Margaret is funny. She's not like the straight man. She's kind of like a weird damaged person, and that's like interesting for a TV character, that she wasn't like a perfect person, that she was allowed to
hmm
be like this very flawed person with these many complexes, and how she evolves over time. You always talk about, like, I haven't really got there yet, but she, becomes someone who deserves respect, and like that's really interesting.
Yeah, and we're talking a lot about the character of Margaret because Loretta Swit was kind of known for playing that role mostly.
Mhm.
But we can't forget that Loretta Swit was the one who kind of brought her to life. Like,
Mhm.
the writers could do a lot, and they did obviously with her character, but I mean, Loretta Swit was that character.
Yeah.
She's the one who played that, and she was a really great actress as well. And Loretta Swit, the person outside of MASH too, was also known to be like a really great person. She was really passionate about animal rights, and she was a vegan, and
Mhm.
she loved animals. And I think that that's just honestly just so great. That just like adds to her as, a person. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's just it's really sad that she passed away, but also she seemed to live like a really great life, and
Mhm.
again, was a really great person and obviously loved by many. So yeah, it's just,
Yes.
I'm glad that we get to kind of like reflect on her and stuff like that.
It's funny, like, with being so invested in MASH now, that like Loretta Swit passing at 87 years old, like a very healthy age, I'm still like, man, that's too soon. Like I wasn't ready to wake up yesterday and see that. And it's unfortunate, but 87 is a very good age in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad to hear that she was like a good person beyond the Margaret character, that she had a full life and like had this like animal rights cause. Like I gotta respect anybody who loves animal rights. I mean, like who's against that,
Yeah, really.
And it's just nice. And Margaret, of course, we love Margaret. Huge impactful character, one of the only characters in the show to last the entire show. And I think that speaks to how important she was. That like MASH changed throughout the years a lot, but MASH is at its core, the two pillars of it are Hawkeye and Margaret, and that's important,
Yeah,
that if Margaret left, it would have maybe fallen apart. It wouldn't have been the same show.
No, yeah, and like I said, that's just like a testament to Alan Alda and Loretta Swit playing those characters and kind of embodying those characters. And I think Alan Alda had tweeted yesterday that Loretta Swit, she deserved every single Emmy nomination that she got. She got like 10 Emmy nominations or something like that. Yeah. And she won 2 of them. And he basically just sung her praises. And it's so nice to see. Obviously she'll be really missed, but I'm glad that the internet and everybody in the MASH fandom is kind of coming together to reflect on her and, be thankful for the character that she played and the impact that she had, obviously, on all of us. So, yeah.
And she was a Jersey girl. That's awesome.
She was, yes. And, I'm always going to claim her. Like, she is New Jersey.
Born and raised, Passaic, New Jersey.
Yeah.
We love to see it. She went to a college in Montclair. That's just, homegrown.
Yeah, exactly. That just adds to Loretta Swit as the person. So I think we've said a lot. There's a lot more to say, obviously, about Loretta Swit and her career and, the character of Margaret. But until then, goodbye, farewell, and amen.
Rest in peace, Loretta Swit. May her memory be a blessing.